Hey everyone, welcome back to the fourth episode of Backdoor Banter. I'm your host Lawrence.
And I'm Edmund.
And I'm Justin.
Yeah, sweet. And well, we have a pretty exciting topic that we wanted to talk about today, and we all have a different range of experience in it. And what is it? What are we going to talk about?
Talking about gaming.
Gaming?
Yeah, gaming.
Yeah. Nice. And what games do you guys play?
What games do I play? I used to be pretty into Clash of Clans and Clash Royale, but
Ooh,
that's
mobile gamer.
Yeah, I'm a straight mobile gamer. I never really got into the PC gaming as much. I did try, but I wasn't any good at it, so I quit. But yeah, I like to just tell people that I don't like gaming, just to save some face.
So your game of choice is Clash of Clans. What's your game of choice?
So over time, like nowadays, I play a lot of strategy games.
Yep.
So like stuff like Civ 5 or like Slay the Spire. It's like a card game.
Yep.
But throughout, just generally like strategy games. So I was like pretty addicted to Hearthstone at some point. Played like League of Legends when I was a bit younger.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why you like BJJ, right?
Because it's like League of Legends.
Yeah.
It's a
strategy game.
Yeah.
And look,
Right. I get what you're saying.
yeah, I think my was a game of choice would be like FPSs or also third-person shooters like Fortnite, for example. Fortnite is really
Fortnite gamer.
Yeah, really addicted to Fortnite. You know, I can't crank the 90s, but I'm not that sweaty. But I'm a good zero build player. But anyways, why are we talking about gaming, right? This is a self-improvement channel, like it's not a gaming channel. And we wanted to share our experiences like with gaming and what our thoughts are about it, because like the more and more people that we see in life, and also as new games start coming out and the graphics start like going real crazy. I saw the Wukong game the other day. Like have you guys seen it? The Wukong game trailer. It looks pretty crazy.
No,
Black Wukong. And a lot of people are getting more and more addicted to this just because it's so captivating, and it'll stimulate you in a way that replaces even doing stuff in real life, right? And it's become a pretty heavy problem. And I think we all like have some experiences in or some negative experiences that have come out in gaming, right? And I think Justin has a pretty interesting experience, and why don't you just share with us like what your thoughts were?
Yeah, I mean, played a lot of games like growing up, but nowadays like not so much. I try to keep it a lot more chill. I think for me, like gaming's like I've got a pretty interesting relationship with it.
Yeah.
Like for a while, like growing up, I considered myself like a gamer, and then for a while I was like a bit of a hater. It's like, oh, fuck, big waste of time and everything. Now I feel like I've got a bit more balanced of a take. I feel like if you keep it reasonable, it's all right. But I think there are certain scenarios where it's for what reasons you're playing games for, and it's like that's the core thing. So like one thing I've kind of decided on, and where I sit kind of now, is like if gaming is kind of stealing that drive you have to like succeed, because like some people become like sweaty gamers. They like start trying to climb the ladder, or they try to like really grind and get good at stuff. I think that's actually pretty bad, because you have a natural human drive to do shit, and that's what it's tapping into. So instead of going out and like picking up like real skills in the world, and interacting with people and really building skills that will kind of help you make a living, because that's really important, right? It kind of saps that like energy, and then you just become, I don't know, challenger in like League of Legends. And then how good, like you live in your mum's basement. So I think that's my hottest take right now, because some people, they play like they play for like to chill with their friends, or they play because they really enjoy their like the story-driven aspect, great music and stuff, and it's their way to like relax. But I think for me right now, if it's kind of stealing your drive, then it's really bad.
And I think there's going to be a lot of naysayers out there, right, that don't agree with us. And one argument or one rebuttal that I think I will receive would be like, what about esports players? Right? Like it's
true.
What if I'm driving to make that million, or win the Fortnite World Cup and win $2 million, and it's like it's $1 million industry, and that's what a lot of people will be saying out there. But my take, and you guys give me your opinion. It's a top 1% that's gonna make it there, right? Like it's a $1 million industry. It's just like everything. Like being in the NBA, it's top 1%. Being in the UFC, top 1%. Like, are you gonna be the top 1% of players to make that, $1 million salary or $2 million contract? And be honest with yourself. And I feel like that's a very common thing for people to say, and a fallback argument for people when people tell them gaming is bad. Right, that's something that I hear all the time. Like, this kid's making more than this investment banker by gaming, but it's gonna be the top 1%. And if you're just casually playing, like, and maybe you're just like not as good, like, and you still want to pursue that career, like maybe consider something else. But if you're not playing to compete, and if you don't have realistic dreams to compete in that world level, it might be best to steer off from the gaming if it's deterring you from doing other stuff in life that you want to be doing.
Yeah, and I mean, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
But I feel like, be honest with yourself. That's kind of what I zoned in on what you were saying, where it's like, okay, if you're genuinely, this is your passion, and like you really want to do it, yeah, give it a fair go. Like really grind and try to get it done. But like, just like an esports athlete is an athlete. So just like a regular athlete, you give it a try when you're young. Give it your all. And you'll kind of see whether or not you've made it. And then at some point, you've got to make the decision to either, you've made it or you got to do something else. And that's kind of the risk that athletes like take.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, like, I get that same thing as well. A lot of people try to grind it out because I know some people will see it as a vice just because like they think, oh, I don't have anything else going for myself, so I got to make this work. Mm-hmm. And then all they do is play Call of Duty, right? Like they're in their mom's basement playing Call of Duty. Like that's the only thing they have going on for themselves. So they really grind. And some of them make it, but most of them don't. And a lot of people I would say some of them probably cope just saying, yeah, this is going to work. When it clearly wouldn't. And also, like, gaming is it's not good for you like in most cases, it's not that good for you. Like it's a good way to socialize, and I wouldn't even say detach, because let's say you're playing Valorant, you're in an intense game, you're not really relaxed, right?
No,
you're stressed.
Yeah,
you're probably more stressed than you are in work.
Sweaty hands and all that
sweaty
stuff.
Hands.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you're like
raging.
Pissed off.
You're pissed off from your teammates. Like you've just had a long shift at like after work, and then you want to do some gaming to relax. But you're even more amped up than you were like when you started.
And that makes you even more of a toxic person, eh? Like it's bad for your mental health, because if you're like one of those people who like just want to grind and you start telling off your mate for just giving free kills to the other people because they were just so bad at the game, like I feel like people develop these toxic mentalities online or on Discord, and like the term keyboard warrior, like it'll like that whole personality will come up, and you develop that personality because you're comfortable on you're comfortable with talking to people like that, and it will hinder your social skills in real life as well.
Yeah, it's weird because a lot of people, they would just game all day and then it just makes them a toxic person. But when you look at, if you were to introduce them to a combat sport, for example, they'll be like, oh, nah, that's not really, I'm not a violent person, right? But they're gaming, they're like swearing at people. But,
wait a minute.
All the slurs are coming out.
Yeah. You just called me the N-word and like, you said you're going to F my mom like last night. What the hell?
Yeah, it's weird because like when you pick up a martial art, you become a lot calmer, right? It's like, it's funny how that works when like gamers are very like toxic and as opposed to like martial artists.
That's true. Because you're just constantly like being stimulated, and you're like, I guess in the game you're killing people, shooting people, or and just shitting on other people, but you don't know what that feels like in real life, right? In an altercation, and you don't know what it feels like to be punched in the face or put in a choke. So like that's probably the difference.
Yeah, like I used to, well, I wasn't actually a proper gamer. I was more of a mobile gamer. So I only played.
That's a new breed.
That is a new breed.
That's a new breed.
Like Clash Royale is actually competitive now.
Yeah, exactly.
And I used to play a lot of Clash Royale, and it doesn't get toxic. Like you can't really swear at the other person. You're limited to like six responses, either well played, good game, or the worst, like tilting one would be the crying emoji.
Oh yes,
There's like you
that's
can
bad.
see like when I lose, if I'm losing and the opponent spams the crying emoji, and then fuck, that would piss me off, and then and then yeah, so I was like grinding that out in high school. I remember I would play, I kid you not, like 3 hours a day, 3 to 4 hours a day, just on my phone, staring at Clash Royale. That's probably why my eyes are so bad now.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was that good. I would say most of it was a waste of time. Like if I was to, I could have spent that in a lot of better ways, like going out, and that probably would have improved my grades as well.
Yeah.
And would have helped me, just helped me develop. Well, I could have replaced it with better habits.
Mm-hmm. Like going to the gym or something.
Yeah, going to the gym. Like I was going to the gym, but I was also playing a lot of Clash Royale. It distracted me. Like I used that like as a vice to just, let's say if I was stressed from school or I had a test coming on, I would just play Clash Royale and just like have it as an escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To kind of build on that though, I guess like because you were kind of using it as like a way to kind of like let loose and kind of like relax, you know?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it was achieving that well, or do you think like?
No.
Because sometimes you just want to relax, and like I'm kind of a bit cognizant as well. It's like can't really like people relax in different ways. Like people would need their dose of like dopamine to have fun. So I guess do you think there's like a balance where it's like, you know, have your gaming and then or do you think you can just stay away from it in general?
Think for me personally, I think for my looking at if I was to give myself the advice, I would say stay away from it.
Yeah.
Like because everyone's different, right?
Yeah.
But I would say stay away from it because when I play, I'm probably more stressed than I should be because me personally, I care a lot about my rank. I remember like I remember during school, my friends would just press on my phone just because, and then it spawns like a random character that I wasn't meant to spawn, which hinders my performance, right? Like it made me lose the game.
Oh my god!
I'll be like, bro, I'll like, of course, I'll cuss on my phone. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then they will probably be like, bro, it's not that serious, man. I just pressed your phone. It's just a
I
game.
didn't get it,
I was like, bro.
Start throwing hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't relax me at all, and I think I would have been better off just picking up a better habit, going on like a 10-minute walk would have been a lot better for me to relax.
Yeah, and like I guess like, you got out of it like at a pretty young age. Like you stopped playing at a pretty young age.
Nah.
Well, you are still like, very young.
It was. I did get out of it, but I can fall back into it very easily.
Yeah.
Like, I remember in Thailand. This was in Thailand. I was injured. And then for some reason, I had Clash Royale. I had Clash Royale still on my phone, but I didn't play it much. And bro, I played that like 4 hours. I grinded out. There's this thing called a pass royale. So you can rank up trophies, and I completed the whole thing in like 2 days.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy. Like
That's crazy.
Because I was injured. I had nothing else to do, and I would have been better off just going for a walk or something.
Yeah.
That is pretty crazy because like not judging obviously because like that's how like fun and addictive games can be. But you're in like beautiful like Thailand. You're like in Phuket. You're like fuck. I want to stay in my room and play Clash Royale.
It's so addictive, man. Like I think the games. I don't know about you or I don't know what it is, but the games nowadays it's a lot more addictive than when I was in high school or even younger. Like I didn't feel like I was that addicted to games in high school. But like I just didn't find them as entertaining. But I would still play it, but I wouldn't find it as entertaining. Where
They've just perfected the art. Getting you addicted.
Exactly.
I think I know. Well, I know definitely why Clash Royale was so addicting because it's the same as short form content. It's only a 3-minute round. Yeah, true. So you're like, one more round. One more round. It's only 3 minutes. But as opposed to League where it's like 50 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, like when you actually have to weigh out your time, like, dude, I actually genuinely don't have time for another game. But with Clash Royale, for example, it's only 3 minutes, right? And then 3 minutes turns into 30 and then turns into an hour.
It's so easy to just one more.
Just one more.
I don't know how, because I've never played Fortnite or the other games. So I don't actually know how long the rounds are.
Yeah.
Can you please
it's like could go for like 20 something minutes, like to 30 minutes. I'd say half an hour, depending on how good you are. But like if you make it, because it's a battle royale, so best out of 100. If you make it within the top 10, you'd probably spending at least 25 minutes, and it's very frustrating because you're trying to get that dub, and to get a dub, you have to come number 1 out of 100. So it's really annoying when you don't get it. So you're just, oh, fuck, I need to play one more game to get it. And then when you do get it, it feels good for like 2 seconds, and you're like, and then the next one is like, oh, there's something called a crown win. So you get a crown when you win, and then you can get a crown win, which goes onto your record. So you win with a crown, and then so you don't want to go again for the crown win, but you lose the crown, and then you have to play again. So it's like a constant cycle, and then it's really, really bad, really toxic. Like not toxic, but like really addictive.
Do you still play Fortnite?
Funny thing, right? Like I deleted it not this morning. I deleted it yesterday, but in the past couple of weeks, I don't know what it was, but I just decided to just check it out one day. I was on my computer. I think I was trying to edit some stuff for this podcast, and then I saw Fortnite was still on my computer, and I haven't touched it in like years or 2 years. I just clicked on it, and I was like, whoa, this is so fun, man. The new season is so good. And then like I was just playing by myself, and then one of my friends that I used to play with, he joined my party and then started talking to me, and then he's like, hey, jump on Discord, man. And then we jumped on Discord with a few other friends, and he just got pretty wild from there. We were just grinding it out, and I realized that it was taking a toll on my mental health, because like sometimes I'd be skipping the gym or like skipping training just to play some Fortnite, and also it didn't, like, it made me feel honestly like just dumber, just like I would think slower. I wouldn't be able to maintain a conversation as well. And even at work, I was just getting like brain fog, and I was just thinking about jumping on Fortnite, I just want to jump on Fortnite with the boys, kill some bogeys. But I've realized that thankfully it didn't take control of my life that much, and it was it's something that I was to again for a couple of weeks, and I just took the initiative to delete it, and I won't be able to download it again because the NBN that I get at my house is fiber to the node. I hope you're listening to this NBN. It's really, really slow, and I get like download speeds like 2 megabits. So it's going to take me like 9 hours or something to download it again. So it's because it's like a 60 gig file. So I think that's going to be done for good, and I'm not going to re-download it. Yeah. And yeah, that's like, I think with me, right, what my recommendations are and how I view gaming is that I see why people play it, but I just, like, if you have a personality like me, when I start a game, I have to, if it's a storyline game, I have to finish it. I would just lose track of time if it's like an online game, and I just want to keep chasing that dopamine, right? And if you have that addictive personality like myself, I recommend just to steer away from it. And if you really do want to play, like maybe setting like strict time-bound like parts in your day just to play it, and then that's it. But if you can't do that, just don't touch games at all, because it definitely like impacted my life in that short period. And if I was to continue that for months on end, like, I might not be filming this podcast anymore. I just be in my room playing Fortnite. So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know you picked up Fortnite. I knew you were gaming.
Yeah.
Because I would be sleeping. It would be like 12.
Yep.
And I probably would have. I'll be calling my girlfriend, and I'll just hear you. I'll just hear you like, it's like, bro. He's like, you're just talking to the mic.
He's one shot.
I'm like, wow, it's like 12 a.m. man. Go to sleep.
Yeah, I know. So I haven't even told the friends that I gamed with, like, because we only spoke because then we jumped on Discord and started speaking, but I haven't told them that I've deleted it. But if you're watching this, I'm sorry, guys. Like, it's just not good for my mental health, and this is the breakup message.
This is how you're gonna send them the podcast.
Yes.
When he asks you to game.
Exactly.
Hey, bro, wanna jump on?
Yeah.
Send it to the clip.
Yeah.
Like the IG reel edit.
Exactly. I'll send them the clip. So
you just tag them in this reel, hey.
Yeah, I will. I will. Yeah. You know who yous are. Yeah.
I guess kind of like just building on that though, like there are like real positives like to like gaming, because like just with that you were like able to like reconnect with your friends.
Yep.
And I guess, how are you thinking of that? Like, is it like you just have to miss out on like the benefit, or is there a way you can like keep both? Or like how, like, just say with these friends, right?
Yeah.
How are you gonna approach it? Because you still care about them, and
for sure.
Yeah.
And like I think with these friends, like, look, I'll be honest, I'm not that good with keeping, like, maintaining like several connections. Like there will be my core group of friends, and then like once in a while I'll reach out to those that that I care about, and then try to arrange some like a dinner or a coffee. I'm getting better at that, but I think my problem, right? I've spoken about it in previous episodes. I have ADHD, and I tend to get a bit. I procrastinate messaging people for some reason. It's a weird feeling. It's like I procrastinate messaging people because sometimes I'm like, maybe he's too busy. I shouldn't ask him to hang out. I just make up all these situations in my head. So like that's the problem that I had with some friends. And let's say if I wasn't gaming and now that I have a clearer thought process on what I should be doing, I can just like hit them up, like just, hey, let's get a coffee or let's go get something to eat. But on the contrary, if you are like a very busy person, let's say you've got kids, like full-time job, and you just don't have time to see the boys, right? Like I've heard of, some people saying that that's their only time that they get to, chat with the boys, like maybe jumping on what's that game, like Warzone or something, or Counter-Strike, like Friday night for a couple of hours when the kids are asleep and all that, just to reconnect with the fellas. But yeah, like that's I think that'll be the only way that I would recommend when it comes to gaming. The only reason I'd recommend gaming would be to connect with friends, and you don't have the option to go out.
Yeah, but you can also, with gaming, I guess you can connect with them, but you can also just jump on a call, right? You can also just like, you can do like a little virtual date. You guys
hey man, pause.
I thought it was like a virtual date. You can just jump on Discord. You don't even need a game. You can just like, let's say, watch a show or something, and then just go from there. Yeah, it doesn't always have to be game, but gaming is a good way because it's entertaining and stuff. But
because you're doing something together,
I guess so. But how much are you really connecting, right? How much are you having deep and meaningful conversations? You guys are just playing a game and just shooting people.
I think there's a few things there that's pretty interesting. One thing I've kind of like started to realize more recently is like male friendships are really built on like shared activities. Mm-hmm. It's like you do things together, and that's kind of when you feel like close to people. And I think I'm a bit more like, I don't know what the word is, but like I'm a bit of a chatty person. So I personally like I'm pretty down to just like hang out with a friend and like kind of just like have a chat over dinner kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm like pretty comfortable with that. But I kind of get the sense that most guys are much more down to like do something together, like go play like golf or go play like mini golf or like just do something together.
Yeah.
Like that's true. Yeah, I get that. I do
that too. Yeah, I get that. And I do notice it from you. Like every time if we were to go like let's say play pool or something, you usually just sit out and just like chat.
I'm a very chatty person.
yeah. And I think for me, I do like doing stuff. Like there are times where I do like to sit down and chat, but then I think like doing something like with your group of friends is always something better than just chatting for me. Yeah. Well, like also like one thing that I wanted to talk about and about gaming was like the connections that you could build potentially like with gaming, and that's also part of like the reason why I didn't see gaming. I didn't put gaming on the like far negative spectrum, because there are pros that can come out of it. And then that'll be like the connections that you can build. I know friends like that have built like lifelong connections with like the very important people in their life just through like Counter-Strike or something, man, or like MapleStory, and that's definitely something that people can do. And also like you might meet people that would be able to refer you into a job or something like that, like later down the track. So if you're playing those games, and that could be a positive outcome.
That's so crazy. Like I've personally never made a friend like through games, but like I know a lot of people that have. Like our friend, his brother met his girlfriend like over like Discord.
Yeah.
Like across the world. Like, she's from Canada.
Yep.
And then like they're just together. Like they like she flies down.
Yep.
He flies up. Like
yeah, that's wild. That is wild. Like me too. I've never met any friends over gaming. Yeah. But
and that job referral one, you also got to be mindful of, because let's say you're like a really toxic gamer, right? and the guy actually has has a job that he could refer you to, but
Yep.
he's like, nah, not this guy.
Oh,
Yeah, I wouldn't want to refer this guy. You also got to be mindful. Like, let's say if you are a bit toxic, like like realistically, you're not getting any job referrals. Like, I wouldn't want to. If this guy's calling me the N word all the time, I'm not referring him to my fucking role.
Yeah. Well, not every
No
gamer
way.
is toxic, right?
Yeah.
Like that's probably just like the Modern Warfare 2 lobby
Yeah.
that you're referring to.
But I do get how it could be if you're like a pretty nice person just gaming and you're a good person, then yeah, it could be a good way. But I would say it's very, very rare. But the off chance that does happen,
Yeah.
that would definitely be very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like now that we've like spoken about the some negative and some of the pros, I want to dive deeper into like how like specific situations where it affects your life, and also try to go over like a little bit of science behind it and like why it makes you feel like like give you brain rot and like make you feel a bit brain dead, and like it's just dopamine, right? Like going on like while you're gaming, you're just getting like tiny hits of dopamine, and like what that does is that it desensitizes you to other things. And when you're doing work and when you're like, let's say exercising, for example, and or working towards a long-term goal, you're not really getting those dopamine hits like while you're doing it, but after you've achieved that goal, you get you get that big hit of feel good emotions, and that's like usually your dopamine receptors and your endorphins hitting, and that's what we call people call delayed gratification, right? Like delaying the enjoyment and putting in the hard work now, knowing that you'll get that feel good feeling afterwards. But with gaming, you're just constantly getting these little dopamine hits that so like throughout the process, you're already getting these little dopamine hits, so that will just desensitize you to other things, like or in achieving your goals and not following that delayed gratification concept. And how has gaming affected you in terms of like delayed gratification? Were you guys putting things off? Did it like offset any goals that you might have had? Like did it take anything away from you guys personally?
Just on the the hormonal side, like it's actually pretty crazy how powerful it is. I distinctly remember like when I was gaming when I was a lot younger, I would literally wake up, jump on the computer, start playing games.
Yeah.
And I would play for like 10 hours straight and like not eat. And like I didn't like the hunger was there, but it was like suppressed. Like it's pretty like well known that like the happy hormones kind of suppress your need to like eat. So like I think that's kind of a big signal, like particularly if that actually happens to you as well, which I think like from talking to friends, it's like a fairly common thing. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Just, like not eating like and just being like so attached to your computer that you can't do that. So I think like one thing sometimes people kind of say like, oh, I think nowadays it's pretty accepted that you can be addicted to gaming, but I guess when I was younger, people would be like, you can only really get addicted to like drugs or like to like gambling, and then like gaming's not like a real addiction. But I think nowadays it's pretty clear that it can be.
Yeah. And we're seeing more and more like younger kids just not knowing like how to talk to the opposite gender and staying inside all the time. And I never understood it. Hey, like I would see younger kids who, or even some like immediate friends who just have social like issues, and also they have this victim mentality, and no girl's gonna like me, I don't know how to talk to girls, and all that stuff. And and they typically stay quiet in social situations, and I feel like a lot of that's affected by gaming, because you're first off, like you don't want to feel you're fearing that rejection, and also the I guess the enjoyment of talking to people might not like be as like evident or prominent, like might not be as prominent with you, because you're just constantly feeding your brain with dopamine, and you're thinking about other shit. But it's definitely affected a lot of young men that I can see, and it's a real problem that we have, right?
Yeah, that definitely affected me. Like even in high school, I couldn't talk to girls, man. Like I couldn't talk to girls for the life of me.
Yeah.
Like, straight, I could probably count on like two hands the amount of girls I talked to in high school.
Oh, damn.
Probably like on a regular basis, 100%, like one hand.
Yeah.
But
when did you first like shake hands with a girl or like touch a girl?
oh,
like
shake
that?
hands with a girl.
Yeah.
Hasn't happened yet.
Like
But
last
I'm waiting.
Hasn't happened yet. But
Yeah.
where, it's definitely affected me when I used to. I wouldn't even classify myself as a gamer.
Mm-hmm.
I was just I went on like YouTube a lot, just did like those bad habits and just stayed inside a lot.
Yep.
Definitely. And yeah, that's definitely affected me because I wasn't going out. I wasn't practicing like that social muscle.
Yep.
I'm definitely a lot better now
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to what I was before.
Yep.
It's definitely a long way to go, but there are a lot of improvements.
Mm-hmm.
And also with the like when you game a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Usually your friends are in the same boat as well, like the people that you hang around.
Yeah,
They're all gamers as well, and they probably have a lot of similar mannerisms to you as in terms of social.
Yeah.
So they would all game, so that you don't have anything to like take you out of that, because your
Yeah.
whole social circle and all of you guys probably have the similar mentality, like, oh, no girls are gonna like us,
Yeah.
all that victim mentality.
Yeah.
And not much of a reason to go out as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's definitely a lot more prevalent in today's age, and that was what I was around in high school. But the thing is, all my friends we've broken out of that.
Oh,
Like,
you've all broken out of it.
well, a lot of us have broken out of it.
Yep.
The ones that I still talk to,
Mm-hmm.
and just having your social circle not all be like gamers and
Mhm.
just stay inside all day.
Yeah.
Definitely helps a lot. And
How did that happen
Yeah,
for your
I'm
friend group? Was
curious.
it like one person kind of led by example, or was just everyone kind of grew up a little bit and started like just venturing out on their own? Or
it was funny thing. I remember so we were pretty much all couldn't really like we weren't like the most social creatures up until like the age of 20, like 19, 20. And I first, in terms of like self-improvement, we all like started going to the gym and stuff, but we still weren't exposed to like the social world. Like they all still like gamed and just stayed inside most of the time.
Yep.
And that's what they did. And then I was in uni and I joined a society.
Yeah.
And I was more exposed to. I actually had to talk to people.
Yeah.
I had to talk to girls, which I'm no expert right now. I don't claim to be an expert, but it's definitely helped me a lot
Yeah.
just to expose myself to that crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And like that crowd that I wanted to be in high school. When let's say if you're like an incel in high school, you always look at the popular kids just saying, oh, I wish I could be like that, right?
Yeah.
And then I guess I got a taste of it in uni.
Yeah.
And then
And you became that.
and I became-
Yeah, you became that.
and then over time, and then my friends would, we started going like clubbing and stuff, like having a taste of the DGen stuff, and then
Yep.
over time we just started getting better. We just started doing like self-improvement habits. I stumbled upon Hamza, as I mentioned in the first episode. And then I was like bro, you should check out this guy. He'll
Yeah.
save your life, man. I was like, dude, save your life. And then they started implementing like better habits.
Mm-hmm.
And we just broke. I wouldn't say we're all like the most social people, but
Yep.
we've definitely broke out of our shell a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And we all like actually, because literally before when we hang out, we'll just be together like sausage fest all the time. and then now it's just like a lot better. We actually go out and actually enjoy like the outdoors and stuff.
Yeah.
As opposed
You've
to
touched some grass.
Yeah, touch some grass
Yeah.
as opposed to staying at home on Discord all day, like
Yeah.
watching movies, playing games.
Yeah, exactly.
That's helped us a lot.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think like a part of that as well. Like I know we said that gaming was like a big like cause of that. Like I don't really like using the word incel, but you know that incel behavior. But there are other factors as well that comes along with gaming. Like because you're always indoors playing, you're not getting any sun, right? Drops your there's been studies that shows that the level of your vitamin D level affects the testosterone levels that you have, and you constantly inside. You're not interacting with anyone. Like you said, right? Not eating for like 10 hours, and like all that just compounds together and just makes you feel like less of a person and not the ideal person you'd want to be. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with, well, I'm gonna tie my gaming experience to Clash Royale, right? And then I would put a lot of things off just because I didn't, because I would just play another game, and then which would delay what I needed to get done.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with like assignments, I would just keep playing, and
Yeah.
I would just cope like, oh, I'll just play another game, and there's just be a little hit
Yep.
to just delay what I had to face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all like dead time as well. Like if you're not trained to be competitive, right? Like you could be using that to do something else, right? Like working on yourself. You could be going to the gym. Maybe start the podcast you've always wanted to start, and yeah, like there's like so many things that you can do like outside of gaming, and yeah, if it's like Edmund said, it's hard if you and all your friends are all gamers, right? It just takes one person to step out of their comfort zone, make that change, and hopefully, or like try to get the rest to follow, right? And if they're still not following what you think is better than gaming, then sometimes it's better to cut them off for a bit, right? Like remove some of the friends in life. Like you can still check up on them, right? But what's that quote that everyone keeps using? Like you're the sum of your 5 closest friends or something like that.
The 5 people that you hang around.
5 people that you hang around with. Like if all your friends are still gaming and stuff, and they're not wanting to make that change that you want to make, sometimes it's best to cut them off for now. Like I'm not saying cut them off forever, but cut them off so you can make that change and so people don't hold you back, right? That's I find that really important.
Just like kind of building on that, then like just say there's like a 20-year-old guy, he's in uni, and all of his he's kind of grown up a gamer. He's really like all of his friends are gamers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like really resonating with like what like you were saying just then, where it's like you know what, I do think it's important to kind of get out there and stuff. But how should they like approach this? Because like what if, for example, their friends are like, oh, he thinks he's too good for us now, kind of thing, right? And you don't want them to think that, but then you're just trying to improve your own life, and also it's like it's scary like to like go out there and like talk to people and talk to girls for the first time, or just it's really uncomfortable. Maybe that's the better word for it. So like what advice would you give them?
Yeah, for that first part, right? I'm not saying like cut out your friends and just tell them that, oh, you're not doing anything with your life and I'm better than you, right? Like just work on yourself. Like you're trying to guide your friends in the right direction, but you can't really like try to lead them all the time. It's pretty exhausting if they don't want to follow you, and but still just keep it cordial, sorry, and just do what you need to do when it comes to like self-improvement. But yes, it's a bit uncomfortable and you don't know where to start, and it's not easy just to turn off your computer and just go and start cold approaching girls or something, right? But I would the first step I would recommend after deleting your games would just be joining something social. So it could be like a sporting team, like an OzTag team. There's always people like young people like 20 years old playing OzTag, and I've heard there are a lot of baddies as well at OzTag. I've heard, like, so if my girlfriend's listening to this, like I've heard from other people. I don't actually know. So
I didn't think so.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, exactly. People say there are a lot of baddies there, and yeah, like just something social, right? Or we could be joining like a Toastmasters. Like we used to do Toastmasters, and there's a really, really supportive environment to practice your communication skills, presentation skills, and meeting new people. And like that'll be the first step I'd take, and like just do that for a while, and then slowly slot in other stuff, and like meditation and all that. But I would recommend just taking that first step and joining a social like group or community. Yeah.
And for me, like, I think I had a pretty similar experience to you, like Edmund, coming out of high school and into uni and like, getting involved in like with societies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I like went for like a less Chad society. I went for the anime society, but it's like you are who you are. We're not saying like change who you are, but you still want, like, it's really important to like learn to socialize and learn to make friends, right? And whatever you're into, uni is a great place because like at a lot of them, there's like a whole bunch of different societies that you could join. So you know, choose something that's like authentic to you. You don't have to go like all the way to the other way. And you know what, I'm gonna be a jock when I was like or whatever. Choose what's authentic to you, but like really try to value like making friends, building those social skills, and like I think one point I wanted to add on to like that point where like, oh, you know, when you're on your own journey and your friends aren't like they're not like, that's not where they're at, they're not looking to like change too much or anything. One thing I think is like really important is to really frame it in your mind as, you know what, I'm just like, I gotta focus on myself. I feel like for me this is important, and don't have any judginess towards other people.
Exactly.
Because it's gonna leak out, and it's gonna turn you into a, like, you know, the Sigma, like,
the red pill,
like,
red pill.
like,
Yep.
you want to stay away from that.
Yeah.
It just turns into a bit of a, like, it's not good.
It's a bit of a meme. Like,
it's a bit of a meme.
Stage,
yeah.
Like, I think I used to be a bit of a red pill guy as well. Like, Edmund was a bit of a red pill guy, and I used to be like shilling meditation. I think I might have spoken about it in the first episode, but shilling meditation, saying all this stuff. Oh, you should stop playing games, and like you should focus on this. This is not good for you. And like, I was only just starting my journey, right? And they couldn't see any I guess immediate effect to it, and I was just relaying what I've learned to people. But I think that was definitely the wrong approach, and in like how I would approach it differently was just, like you said, work on it myself. Don't worry about other people. Yes, you can recommend stuff, but don't be shilling in their face. Don't be, you know, the red pill dealer. And I just came up with that on the side. Hey, red pill dealer, that's good. Yeah. Don't be the red pill dealer, and then work on yourself. Work on your fitness goals, work on your professional goals, and your friends will, well, the gamer friends will most likely see that. They see that you're succeeding, and look, he's just like me. He's like, now he's making more money. Now he's hanging out with a lot of different people. He has a girlfriend now, and they'll see that, and that may intrinsically push them to want to do something with their life.
100%.
And you know, being a good figure or like a role model to those, and that's something similar that we're trying to do. But after what we've spoken about, we're not perfect, but we're trying to like give the viewers and listeners like a piece of like what we've done and what we'd recommend, right?
Yeah. And if you really want to just talk about it, start a podcast.
Start a podcast. Exactly.
Yeah, that's such a good point, because like I feel like that's the only thing you can do is like, you got to lead by example. Like, you can't say like, oh, you got to go to the gym. It's like, no, I'll go to the gym, I'll get big, and then you ask me, oh, how did that happen? And then that's when you kind of unload your like theories and shit onto your friends.
Yes.
But you got to always lead by example.
Yeah, definitely. Like, no unsolicited advice, you know?
Yeah, like I was pretty guilty of giving unsolicited advice to, I wouldn't say a lot of my friends, literally like probably only one that I would give unsolicited advice to, but he still doesn't listen to me to this day.
Yeah.
And I get pissed off every time. But then I should really
mind your business, bro.
Yeah,
I should lead
just trying to eat my burger, man.
So I'm just gonna carry off your point of what advice I would give to a 20-year-old that just started uni. Yeah, I would definitely recommend joining a society. That definitely helped me a lot with just getting out there, putting myself out there, and going into an area that I'm very uncomfortable with, because I feel like if I never joined, I would be probably a lot more like introverted, a lot more indoors. I still am a bit introverted now, but I would be a lot more introverted, I would say. Like, I wouldn't be able to talk to people.
Yep.
And just put yourself out there. I guess you kind of throw yourself in the deep end, right? And a lot of times where I know a lot of people say that like drinking and stuff it's like degen and stuff, but I think it was actually a very, even though it wasn't good for my health, it was definitely very good for the trajectory of my life.
What way?
Like,
I would agree actually, but yeah.
Not even drinking. Like, there's just a social aspect, partying.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Because I would say if I never experienced it, I would always wonder what it's like.
True.
And I'm very grateful that I got out of it early. Like that phase probably only lasted like a year and a half or two, and now I'm a lot more tame, and I don't ever want to go back.
Yeah.
And I think everyone just has to experience that phase. I know it's bad, gives you a bad like look. Like everyone's like, oh, that's like
it's not good for your health.
Man. Not good for your health. Like, why are you partying so much? Why are you drinking so much? Like, of course, you should like keep it tame. Like, you know your limits, which I probably didn't sometimes.
Yeah.
And you just gotta experience it, throw yourself in the deep end, and I know it's pretty cliche advice, but it's definitely worked for me. And because a lot of people would hop into, I think I did touch on it last episode, where they would hop onto self-improvement and stuff, but not actually have the social aspect. And then when they go outside and start socializing with people, but they like, let's say they've meditated they've meditated like 12 hours. They've meditated 12 hours in the last like month. Or they've meditated like 20 minutes a day, but then they can't really speak to people in a social aspect.
Yep.
So I feel like that definitely does help a lot.
Yeah, I think I have the same opinion, where it's like, yes, drinking is not good for you, but being able to socialize with people is so important that if you need it to kind of get started, and like, you know, your first time at a party or something, or like out clubbing, it's going to be pretty uncomfortable. So like, genuinely it does help a little bit, like to have like some alcohol. And then after you've like kind of built those skills, like nowadays I drink a lot less, like, because like, you know, it is not good for me, and I feel like I've already broken out of my shell. But if you're kind of in the mood, in that zone of like, yeah, I'm too good for drinking, but also I'm just like in my room and like playing games, and I can't talk to anyone.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so important that whatever gets you out there, like, give it a try. I don't know. What do you think, Lawrence?
Yeah. Like, I don't like recommending people to drink, because it's just
that's
like,
true.
Number one, it's not good for your health, and I've definitely taken years off my life, like just drinking and partying like that, bro. Like, yeah, there were times where I would just like go out and party all night, and then I was working retail at the time, go to work with like 3 hours of sleep. Like, I think it's definitely taken like a toll on my life, but like you said, give it a try. Like, I'm not gonna recommend drinking though, but still going out in those situations. But yes, drinking a little bit does help to, you know, give you that liquid courage to be in that space. But look, if it's like health concerns and you really adamant about not drinking, just don't drink, and just so if you're scared of looking weird or people questioning you, just order like a soda water with lime, or like a lemonade with lime. It just looks like you're drinking something, and that'll help you be in that situation a bit more. But let's say if it's not like the party stuff that you want to throw yourself into, like, and let's say you don't go to uni, for example, then you can't join a society. Like I said, join like a local sports team, or one thing will be joining a combat sports gym, right? You're constantly like training with these people. You meet a lot of people through there, and it's pretty uncomfortable, man. Like, let's say if you're joining a jiu-jitsu gym, you're gonna have to like roll around with this guy that you just met, like sweaty and shit for a couple of minutes, or if it's like a striking gym, you're gonna get like, you're gonna have to punch someone in the face and stuff. So it gets you pretty out there, and you definitely like meet a lot of people there, and it'll help you get out of your shell. You know, that like, just take that first step to leave the house and touch some grass, basically. Yeah.
So let's say I'm just gonna go like completely different segue. So do you guys have any, let's say, any people that like, or always, do you guys know any people that are still stuck inside to this day, that plays games all day, and what advice would you give to them?
Yeah, I do know people that are stuck inside all day, and well, like, it frustrates me. Part of it frustrates me that they're, you know, still doing that, right? But advice that I would give them would be to just like the advice I've just given, just delete the games, delete YouTube or whatever, and just go take that first step and just sign up for any sort of sports and classes that you can do, and yeah, like just joining more social aspects of life. Like, but main thing would be just like deleting the games, just to have more self-control. Yeah, Yeah, I know it's like probably a bit generic, but I feel like that's the advice that I've been giving, and I don't think I have anything else to add. But what about you guys?
Yeah, I would definitely, I know a few people. Like, a few of my mates, they still just they play a lot of games, and then, which is even worse because they spend money on the game as well. Like skins and that, which don't really do much for the performance, just for the looks.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just definitely tell them to pick up a new habit, go to the gym, go outside a bit more, and just touch some grass, right?
I think to sorry to interrupt you, but like I was just having to think as well about like certain people I know. Like it makes me sad, bro. It makes me sad that with like 27 and you're like still in the house like that, and like it makes me feel not feel sorry, but like it makes me just feel sad, bro. that they're going through that, and I think doing some self reflection, maybe doing it like getting a piece of paper, just doing some journaling, and write down what you want in life, right? Do you like what are like 3 things that are like realistic that you would want in life, right? It probably isn't like getting a crazy knife on Counter-Strike, right? Like what do you really want in life? What do you think will make you very happy? Whether that's having a 6-pack, right? Having the girl of your dreams, or maybe just being a more social person, right? Like write down those goals, be real with yourself, and then just think about how that makes you feel, and imagine how it makes you feel if you had those 3 things, or even just one of those things, and then reverse engineer how you would be able to achieve those things, right?
Especially for like someone like our age, we're like getting a little bit older now. It's like you've been doing the same thing for so long. That's really hard to change. So I'll just kind of jump in as well with just a few things that I've personally found has really helped with like personal change. One is writing down like I like to get specific. So like in 3 years, like what would like a good like happy life look like for me? But also, I also like to write down, okay, if I kind of keep falling into my like dysfunctional habits, what will my life look like in 3 years as well? So like having both of those, like one thing you're moving towards, but also one thing like, life is like, there's urgency in life. Like if you just kind of don't take anything seriously, don't really think things through, you're going to end up in places where sometimes there's no turning back. So I find that's useful, but also on the other side, I find like having self-compassion like is really, really important. Because, maybe you like, all right, today I'm going to uninstall everything, and then like I try to do this. I go to my first gym session, and then get to the door, I run away, and then I go straight reinstall League or whatever, and then get back on that. Don't be too hard on yourself. Just be like, it's a very meditative thing where it's like, this is where I am now. When you kind of wake back up, you uninstall again, try again. Next time you will get a little bit further. Maybe you get to the bench press this time and do one rep. And then you come back, run away. So small steps. Have compassion for yourself.
Like just like one step at a time, right? We made a post on it as well. Like just one, instead of like 1 plus 9 equals to 10. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals to 10. Like just stack these small habits, and as long as you're seeing a change every day in life, like as minuscule as it is, it's still a change, and you're still heading like into a better direction on where you want to be. But I like that that journaling aspect and writing down where your life would be if you kept continuing down this path. I like that. It's probably something I would implement in my own life as well if I'm going through some ruts and all that.
With journaling, that will definitely help a lot. Hey, just to have some self-reflection and actually seeing is what you really want. Because I feel like a lot of times, especially with gaming, it pretty much like you're not actually aware, right? You're not actually. I feel like sometimes you're on such autopilot. I would 100%. Some people would probably go on their laptop and open up Valorant just out of instinct. And then just reflecting on that. Just reflecting on that would definitely help a lot. Especially like what's helped me a lot is just to do a journal prompt and then actually write down how do I feel after writing this, like what new insights have I gained. And it's definitely helped.
Crap, what was was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and like you said as well, like there's a expiry date on certain things in life, and sometimes it is a bit too late. But at the same time, like don't look back in the past, right? Whatever's done is done. Like yes, you might have spent 5 years like in your house gaming every day, but it's done, bro. You can't change the past, and just keep looking forward. Like yes, you could say that, oh yeah, I wish I would have done it when I was younger, when I was 21 or something, but it's too late. That's the reality. And if I think a lot of these friends as well would like that I know would dwell on the past. It's like, oh, I'm too old to be doing this now. This is my life and all that. Like I should have kept going to the gym when I was younger. But just like it's something that you can't change, and you don't just stop that victim mentality. Stop thinking about the past. Stop beating yourself up, and like make that change because you might be regretting the past 5 years, but those past 5 years will turn into 6, turn into 7 if you just keep holding it off. So like fuck the past, it's happened, and just move forward and move forward with your goals and just make like little steps. Yeah,
it's like the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
The second best time is like now.
Exactly. So yeah, like I don't know, it was it ended up pretty like pretty deep. Like we were talking, not pretty deep, pretty emotional. Like I feel a little bit flustered when it comes to my emotions right now. I was just thinking about like certain friends that might need a bit of help. But yeah, like I guess like any closing remarks, and if you were, I know we've said so many recommendations, but man, let's summarize, right? Like each of us, let's give one thing that you would recommend to a 20-year-old that's stuck in gaming and wants to make change in his life.
Me personally, I would say, yeah, join a gym. I think joining a gym, just having a place to go and level up. You can level up in the gym, just having a place to go, and as opposed to staying at home all day.
Yeah, you, Justin.
Yeah, I'll give the viewers in that boat like a little bit of homework. Do that journaling exercise. Take yourself out on a nice little date. Go get like a nice meal. Bring your laptop out with you. Go to like a nice brunch place, get a coffee, and do that journaling exercise of like where would you want to be in like a good scenario in like 3 years, and where would your life be in 3 years if you allowed your dysfunctional habits to keep like going.
Yeah, and like for me would be like joining just like a social group, whether it's like a sports team, like a bouldering gym is a good one where there's like a lot of people there that are younger. And run club is good. Like, so something that's like sporty to just to get you out, and low entry. Like the run club is easy, or might not be easy, but bouldering is beginner friendly as well. And yes, something like something that gets you out there, and you have to basically talk to people. So like in a social setting, or it could be a uni society as well. And yeah, like that's our 3 points of advice. Like if you guys are watching this on YouTube and you guys decide to start one of these habits, or putting yourself out there, just comment which one that you prefer the most, and also which one that you're going to start on. And also just like let us know if you've been suffering from gaming addiction, if this podcast has helped you change that, or if we're a load of shit and you think that gaming is the best and we don't know what we're talking about. Let us know as well, where we're always open to other opinions and like what your thoughts are like with gaming as well. So yeah, that basically wraps up the 4th episode of Backdoor Banter, and make sure to follow us on Instagram at Backdoor Bants, and YouTube Backdoor Banter, TikTok Backdoor Banter, and we're also on Spotify as well, Backdoor Banter. So yeah, we'll catch you all for the next episode.
See you guys.
Bye.
All right, see ya.